Here you are, probably wondering, what is X4 Foundations all about? Is it a space sim or a 4X game? Is it an RTS strategy game or first-person action? Is it about empire building or exploration? And now, diplomacy too? And I am here to tell you, yes, all of this and more.
A universe in a box.
The upcoming Diplomacy update will add another layer of empire management capabilities to the mix of a game that always followed the vision to give players a universe in a box. Here's a huge simulated sandbox universe, and you, the player, a pilot of a small ship at the start, can do inside that universe whatever you like. Grow, become rich, become powerful. Start with one ship, play missions, explore the universe, build up fleets, build stations, and enjoy the ride.
Every ship is persistently simulated.
The strength of our series has always been the ability to simulate every single ship and station in this immensely large universe. X4 gives you a persistent universe, much like an MMO, but with the speed of a single-player game. All that background universe is not just shallow decoration, but it is truly simulated, whether you are nearby or at the other end of the universe. Thousands of ships are trading, fighting wars, supplying factories with resources, mining asteroids, collecting gas, hunting pirates, and producing the goods that later turn into the ships that are being destroyed in wars again.
But how can one computer run all of this?
At the start, players often wonder, why all this gigantic effort? Why simulate tens of thousands of NPC agents when ultimately you are just seeing such a minuscule part of this gigantic universe? The answer is fast progression. Since we are not the massive multiplayer game that the universe feels like, we can allow you, the player, to progress much, much faster.
Progress fast and grow.
Grow from one ship to having a couple of ships and hiring pilots to fly them for you already after a few hours. Upgrade your favorite ship with more weapons, faster engines, or try to capture ships from other factions. Order some of these ships to mine or trade for you while you play a mission or explore new paths through the universe. Grow from few ships to small fleets, group ships into squads, become more influential inside a couple of sectors of this universe. You hire more and better crew members, assign Marines to boarding operations, and have fighter ships protect your precious traders and their wares. Every time something interesting happens, you can instantly teleport yourself to any of these commanded ships and personally take over control. Simply click on the chair of your hired pilot, he stands up, you sit down, and now it's changed from RTS control to first-person action again. Grow further to larger and larger fleets. Start building your first station from individual modules after just a day maybe. Like Lego blocks, you click together modules of different functionalities. Production modules manufacture wares from resources. Storage modules store the resources or the products. Docks for smaller ships or piers for larger capital ships. Living sections to host your workers. You design your station and invest carefully so the station can make a profit. Eventually, grow even further to manage an empire. Build diplomatic relations to the many factions of this colorful universe. Wage wars against those you don't like, or try to change the entire map. At this point, it becomes obvious why we simulate the entire universe. Suddenly, all the things you are doing actually matter. Every transporter ship you destroy creates an actual demand for the wares that did not arrive. Every fighter lost in a war creates demand for rebuilding ships at a shipyard. The simulation really does not put any limits on what you can do. We frequently get stunning save dates from our fans that surprise us again and again. Players have wiped out entire factions from our universe map, built hundreds of stations, and literally changed the look of the entire universe.
Don't be scared.
But all of that is optional. Nothing required. You prefer following plot missions? Be our guest. You rather stay peaceful and explore a massive universe? Do it. You just want to build up a friendly little economy, search a peaceful corner of the universe and build away. You decide how to play it, at what pace to play, and what your goals are.
You will have help.
Many missions and plotlines exist to guide you through the universe and through the depth of the X-Universe lore. Play plotlines in any order, starting from different game starts, impersonating different types of factions and races. This too is for you to choose. We sell you this nice simulated universe that runs on your local computer with all of its beauty and complexity, but it's up to you to decide how to use it.
But what is this story about?
The roots of this story started with the first game of the X series, X Beyond the Frontier, released in 1999. We start with the history of space travel as we knew it, or still know it today, but tell it further into the future. Mankind discovered jump gates. Discovered means while one was built near Earth, it turns out that our galaxy was already full of similar gates. Gates built by an ancient, long-forgotten civilization, which we only know very little about. Those gates connected many systems empty of any life.
Terraforming and AI.
Mankind built machines instructed to autonomously terraform those worlds in order to prepare them for later settlement. Machines that used AI and even AGI. Somewhere in the endless emptiness of space, some of these AGI-controlled machines had a drift in their goals. This is the birth of the Xenon, the most badass bad guys in the X universe. All of this happened already in the intro to X Beyond the Frontier, so it is the foundation of all X games ever since.
The hero is the universe.
Of course, there were big heroes in the X games. Kai Brennan, for example, was one of them in X Beyond the Frontier, as well as the novel Farnham's Legend, which tells the story of the early X universe in more depth than the game ever could. Or Elena Ko, who also started from Earth and, like the player, discovered the beauty of the X universe and made it her new home. Her daughter Zaya, on the other hand, born in the X universe, had an entirely different outlook on Earth, which the player would soon experience. All of this lore is great, and you will find references to it in every modern X game, of course, but it is not required knowledge at all. The real hero of X-Lore Foundations is definitely the universe itself. A universe rich with fascinating creatures, factions that have dynamically changing relations, sometimes fighting wars in which the player can take part or even benefit by selling ships or wares.
A universe of fascinating creatures.
While you can stay in any of the many spaceships you own for most of the time, there are also plenty of good reasons to explore the universe on foot. You will walk on space stations and inside ships. Ships and stations have many rooms, bridges, shops, prisons, many more. Go to traders to buy and sell items or use them for crafting. While where trading is always in large numbers and stored in ships, items fit in your pocket and are used for crafting and often also in missions.
Missions outside the plot.
Another thing you can do when talking to people on space stations is asking for jobs. You can find missions by flying in empty space, of course, but there may be special mission offers when talking to some people on the station. Once you have improved your standing with some of the factions, you can even go to some of their organizations and ask to work for them permanently. Unlike the big plot lines, this will provide you with a source of sympathists that goes on for as long as your relations to this faction remain good.
Work your way up to the top.
There are also other good reasons to make some friends among the powerful factions in the X universe. With better reputation, you can buy more advanced technology from their war-spent shipyards. High-tech military equipment is not openly traded to just anybody. In some cases, you may even have to befriend factions only to be allowed to fly through their system without being attacked. There are many ways to improve your relations. Every trade you or any of your ships do, you get slightly better standing. Every time you do a mission for them, they may thank you with a bit of a reputation boost. And of course, the big plot lines give you a chance to make a big impact too. But it is not always good to be everybody's darling. Any faction you don't care about can also be an excellent target to practice your fighting skills on. And if they don't want to sell you their technology, then you might want to try to steal it from them.
Boarding and capturing ships.
Right from the start of the game, you have a chance to grow your fleet of ships with means other than just buying them. Sometimes during a skirmish with a smaller ship, the crew and pilot get scared and abandon their ship. This is not easy and doesn't work with every target, but when it does, you got lucky. Fly over in your spacesuit, head a data leak to gain access to the ship, and personally take control. Or send one of your Marines over and let him finish the job for you. Either way, you will need crew at this point, either a new pilot for your old ship or for your new ship. Marines, however, can also be used to try and board much bigger ships. Ships with dozens or even hundreds of crew members. These do not simply give up their ship in the middle of a fight. You need a coordinated boarding operation to convince them. We are currently working on improving this aspect of the game and hope to be able to show you more soon.
In space, someone can hear you scream.
Getting to a newly boarded ship and entering it by floating out of your airlock and into the new ship is certainly a great use of your EVA spacesuit, but far from the only one. In X4, you can use the spacesuit also for many activities during missions. Deploy bombs on stations or ships. Scan signals from up close. Open some very special crates which can hold items for crafting upgrades. Place EMP bombs to hack station modules for blueprints. Or explore dangerous shipwrecks or the inside of ancient relicts.
So many ways to control.
The most common way to play X4 Foundations is with keyboard and mouse, but the game is highly customizable and supports various input methods such as sophisticated HOTAS setups. X4 also offers a streamlined gamepad interface ideal for couch and TV play. The controller experience in particular has been significantly improved over the last years, making X4 also very enjoyable on devices like the Steam Deck.
Changing the face of the universe.
Playing X4 is always the mix of first-person action with long-term planning and strategizing. If you care about it, then building your own stations can be a big part of that. Anywhere in this universe, you can reserve a spot and start building a station module. There are a couple of different ways how you can gain the blueprints necessary to build each module of such a station. The legal one would be to buy the blueprint from a faction representative, but that could turn out to be quite expensive and slow you down. Then there is the illegal one. Research hacking, steal the knowledge from the stations of your NPC competitors. Once you have your blueprints, you carefully decide where the market may be good to deliver your resources and where you can easily sell your products. Or you base the location on the threat level of nearby other factions or enemies like the Xeno. You can continue to grow a single station ever bigger and bigger until it might even be a completely self-sustaining mega complex. Or you build a lot of small stations in many different places. These small stations could maybe be closer to their supply and demand, but they would require more transportation if you later deliver to your own network.
Yes, you do have enough time.
When you hear stories of players that built their empires and built their save games up for sometimes hundreds of hours, then it's easy to think everybody would need to spend so much time in this game. But let me tell you, this is absolutely not the case. We design X4 to be a fun universe for all types of players, and this includes the majority who enjoy many of the fun and easy to get into activities without necessarily building an empire. Play a few plot missions, explore the sandbox universe only to improve your favorite fighter ship. Do a bit of mining, or any of the many other great activities in this universe in a box. Just because you can grow an empire doesn't mean you have to. Every player is different. Every player has a slightly different goal and enjoys different parts of this game. But it is always a great community of really friendly folk.
And now, diplomacy is added to the mix.
One very special station that you can get very early in the game is known as the Player Headquarter. This is the home of Bozotin, a friendly Boran researcher who sometimes likes to refer to you as his assistant. It is a station that doesn't just produce ordinary products, but it can produce knowledge through research. And it is this very unique station where soon you can also host diplomats. While diplomats are a convenient shortcut for the advanced player to interact with the many factions of the game, agents will be your method to change diplomatic relations and tip the scale to your advantage or otherwise.
One computer, infinite universe.
Dynamically changing faction relations is very powerful and the ultimate way for you to influence the universe. Our engine, X-Tech 5, allows to simulate these thousands of NPCs and their colorful lives. Even at the start, no two games are the same after just a few minutes of play, and thanks to diplomacy, you can soon stress test this system even more. Fun and endlessly different gameplay situations emerge from this universe, even surprising us, the developers, over and over again.
An engine, 25 years in the making. An engine designed for emergent gameplay.
Or to give players like you a universe in a box in X4 Foundations. See you soon in the X universe.